Okay, happy Motivational Monday, guys. Happy Motivational Monday. Happy new month. This is my first time going live in a brand new month. So happy new month, guys. A month of love, month of inspiration. A lot of stuff going on this month. Black History, Mardi Gras, President's Day, a lot of, stuff going on this month. So, guys, let's just enjoy and make sure we rocking goals as well on this brand new month. So, one brick at a time. This Motivational Monday, one brick at a time. And that's what this is going to be about. It's about building. As we commemorate our, our civil rights activists and forefathers and things like that. It was one day, one brick at a time. Rome was not built overnight. Things are, whatever you're doing, it's a process, it's a step. But you got to put that one brick in. Whenever you building the foundation, whenever you're doing something, it takes time, effort, and work just to be able to do whatever it is. So, one brick at a time. Okay. So, y'all, I did a blog post. I did a blog post on the one big beautiful bill. So I did that. It just kind of sparked my interest when I saw Nicki Minaj, as she talks about her gold card and how, you just have to just listen to her speech over there on the YT or the Googles or whatever. She talks about, why she's now a Trump supporter and what this means for her and her family. She gave her speech and spill on that. So that was interesting to me. So I decided to do like a deeper dive into this one big beautiful bill. And the gold card, the Trump funds, all that stuff is up under that beautiful bill. That one big beautiful bill. So all of that. And how is it going to help us, affect us, things to go, different tax breaks and stuff like that. Things you can do. I did a post on, that was Saturday. I talk about, things are changing as the way, people can borrow money for college. Students can borrow money. Things are changing now. And it's going to be in effect July of this year. Now people that already, the students have been borrowing money, that's not going to affect them. But people from students, people aspiring to go to school, trade school, whatever, professional school, whatever you're trying to do in higher learning, certifications, that is the way you borrow is going to change. It is up under this one big beautiful bill, that's going to be enacted. So a lot of things have started to change. I know we see things as we in government, just with taxes in general, how you gonna file this year, all that. You know what I'm saying? Because even the way you file, it is also into effect. Like a person that has their own home-based business or whatever type of business, you can, it can be online storefront. If you have a product, say you bought a material, you probably even as content creators, say you bought some camera equipment, different things you did, some stuff, and you have a home-based studio. I have a home-based studio. You bought things for your content creating business. You can write that off 100%. Like if you say, for instance, if you purchase some camera equipment, some ring lights, some a backdrop, whatever it is for your studio, you can write that off. That's a big break that you get. Anything, if you do construction work, you bought trucks or whatever it is, whatever type of business you have, you probably have like a seamstress. You might be a seamstress. You probably bought like some more things that like to do your clothing and whatever. You can write all that stuff off. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that what this is, it's a lot of tax deductible within this one big beautiful bill. There's some good side to it, and it always highs and lows to everything. You know what I'm saying? Your car, you can write off car taxes, car loan interest. That is, they say you can't do it if you have like a branded car. Like, say if you have you got like a Maserati or something like that, one of those with real like Teslas, anything like that, you couldn't be able to do a tax deductible. But like a regular car, you can do that. So you have to like kind of read the bill and see where you fall in, what you can and can't do. You got it's going to affect the senior deductions. This bill is going to affect how Medicare, you gonna get covered for Medicaid. Like now the requirements is going to be different. You might like people to be able to be qualified for Medicaid. You're gonna have to work. You know what I'm saying? The stipulation things that if you're gonna have to work versus if you're not working and you still can get Medicaid. All that all that is gonna have is different stipulations to it. You know, it depends on your circumstances. Maybe if you a person that you can't work. Hey auntie, you can't work and you're like raising kids and you have like a disability or whatever, you still can qualify. But a person who's able-bodied, they don't check off the boxes. They can work. No type of like mental illness that keeping them from working. It's going to affect how you get Medicaid and different things. So funding is different within this big beautiful bill. Okay. I talked about, and I did a blog post on it. So y'all go check that out. I did a blog post on it, the one big beautiful bill, over on aprilblog.online, which I'm gonna put the links in the comments. Trump accounts. Okay, so you got Trump accounts. I did a post Saturday. Trump accounts versus the 509 plan. Okay, so the 509 plan, that's a college plan for kids. It's like a savings, pretty much like a savings that you can put into to fund your kids' education. A lot of times, college is expensive, and the expenses that come with it, like with books, how it is, books, room and board, different fees, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? College is an expensive journey. So how people get a head start on it to prevent from getting loans, which all that's going to change how you borrow, prevent from getting loans and coming deep out the pocket. They have some people invest in 509 plan, college plan for their kids. You know what I'm saying? And that is something you can do through a bank or whatever, financial institution, to where you putting a certain amount in it and the money grows interest. So by the time they turn 18, 19, time for them to start college or whatever, that money can grow. That can help fund. That can help fund it. You put a good amount in it, can probably help fund 2 years, 4 years, however their plan of study is, their financial track is, their studying is. So you can be able to fund that. So that is a good investment. So now the thing with the Trump account is supposed to be something similar to the 509 plan. So the Trump account, it is like they have it to where now, so say if you're filing, they'll ask you if you want to invest in a Trump account. So depending on your income gap, I think you can, they'll put $1,000 in it for you to start it, for you to open it. And then you can put up to like $5,000 a year, to invest in that. And then the money grows. Say if you don't touch it, the money gonna grow. So by the time the child turns 18, 19, they'll have depending on what you put in, they might be increased up to 30,000. So with the difference with the Trump account and the 509 plan, Trump account, would be good. Say your kids they may not want to go to college. They might want to start a business. Say they want to start a business. They want to go ahead and own their own home. That Trump account funds that. The difference, the 509 plan doesn't fund like businesses, and you can pull it out for whatever reason, but it's not as much taxes if you do it with the Trump account. Like the Trump account is, you can do college, funding business, a person of a teen, a child, they want to purchase their own home, things like that. So that's the difference with the Trump account. You know what I'm saying? And they were saying, yeah, of course, like any other account, there is a penalty if the child and the family was to use it before the child turned 18. Of course, you got to pay interest or whatever if you tap into it before that time frame. So what I would recommend, if you want to decide which is best for you and your family, and for income, what type of, if the track your child is going to go into, research what would be beneficial, the Trump account or the 509 plan. Would it be beneficial for your family and household? Because the way we borrow, it is going to change. The way, and then a lot of times if and by knowing your child, if you know that a lot, and I will also push I will push scholarships, things like that to help fund education. If your child, they probably not going to do a whole 4-year, 6-year college. They probably just want to go straight to work. They probably want to just get them like a associate's, a technical degree, and work. You got to know your child. You got to know the learning style. That's how you got to know. Then you might not, you might just want to push them in that track of going to technical school, getting the Pell Grant, so they won't, if they're not going to do well in their studies, you're not in debt with, with the loans and financial aid, because by the time, depending on how old your kids now, as for me, I have a 8-year-old, so by the time with this being in place with the one big beautiful bill, and whoever might be whoever might be the president at that time, things in the world are changing. I might not have the luxury of getting all kind of loans. They're saying now with the big beautiful bill, the way how it's going to be a certain amount you can borrow up to, depending on what their field of study is. They say look into private loans, and also coming out the pocket. So that's where these 509 plan, Trump accounts and all that stuff, that's what they're trying to that what it covers. Kind of having that extra thing just in case if you don't want to take out a loan. You know what I'm saying? And having that savings. So that to me, that sparks my interest. Some of the things in this bill might not apply to me, but later on it will, as as we get older, like the senior deductions and all that stuff. The way you do business, even being a business owner, certain stuff I can write off, certain things, what I'm saying? If I buy and I can turn around and write it off whenever I file my taxes. A lot of this stuff is affecting a lot of us. You know what I'm saying? And the changes that's going to happen. And plus the public service loan forgiveness program. Now they're doing a thing to where they may not be it used to be certain jobs that you can have for them to forgive your loan, back say if you work for the state, or you a teacher, depending on what line of field of work you in, they have the public service loan forgiveness program. You can probably work. What that means, you making work an example, you making work in a rural area for 3-4 years, and they'll forgive your loans. So they're changing the way how that looks now in this bill. They may not. Certain fields and line of work may not be included in this public service loan forgiveness. You got to think about that. So if your job's now qualifying for that. So y'all, and now laws and a lot of stuff have changed. They continue writing these different bills up under this thing that Trump is passing. Okay. Tax-free investment options, business owner breaks. So with this bill, it's a lot of like tax-free things. And they taxing too, like now they taxing like tips. Like say if you a person you work you got your own, probably you got your own shop, you do hair, cut hair, whatever, and you get tips or whatever. So they're now changing the way how that's being, how you can file for that, how you can get tips in that. So all is up under this bill, okay? We talked about that's good for business equipment and stuff like that. So there are some good and bad things. So the thing is preparing, looking at your family situation now. You know, which you preparing, like it all boils down to how you gonna prepare for the future. If you got kids, how you gonna fund their education. If you a business owner and you say, hey, my child is going to work for my company or whatever the case is. So putting them, like different things you can do, how they can get paid, how you can file them, all that stuff. So you know what I'm saying, I'm doing like research on that. And especially, and like I said before, I'm looking at more of the college plan, because depending on what school or what career like my daughter chooses, if now they're putting a cap on stuff, you know that me, my husband, and I, we gonna have to come out the pocket. So that's why we are like deciding what plan gonna work best for us. You know what I'm saying? And I know. A lot of times, like with our current president, people got, you know what I'm saying, people got their views and opinions about the way the country is ran. But some of this stuff, like the Trump plan, if you may work for you. Say if you make a certain income and this thing is beneficial for you, and you might, and your kid, you don't know if your child is going in the direction of being a business owner or if they are going to college. So you might, you know, think about like what would this plan mean for you? You know what I'm saying? Like if you make six figures or whatever, putting $5,000, and they're not saying you have to, but if you're investing $100 a pay period, so $100 a pay period times 12. So if you're doing this $100 a month times 12, how much would that be? You already invested in a year. You don't touch that money, or you can put in how much you can afford to put in it and let that money grow. That, you know what I'm saying, like that's a good thing. So I mean, so some things you got to look at up on this big beautiful bill. Some things could be beneficial for the people. It all depends on, you know, your socioeconomic background, what's working for you, you know, how your household is set up and all that. So that's why it's good to kind of like keep an open mind with a lot of this stuff. This plan also is going to affect the way how you do tips and overtime. A person that's working more than 40 hours a week, how they're going to be taxed. You know, you got some people, they work 12, 16-hour shifts. And then like when they file, you barely get anything back. So this is supposed to kind of help. You know what I'm saying? Like whenever a lot of people work overtime, some people got 2-3 jobs, and then, you know, they'll say the more money you make, the more they're gonna tax. So this is supposed to kind of help with, you know what I'm saying, how you are going, how you gonna file and what you gonna get back, and the stuff that they have like for overtime. Okay. They also talked about like how you might want to consider structuring your business. Like if you have an S corp, you have like a individual entity, a LLC, all that affects the way how you are going to file the taxes and stuff like that. So looking at what's right now, what is better for you? Is it better for you to have an online business, to have employees? Is it something you can scale back? Is it better for you? Like if you have brick and mortar, there you still can get perks off of that. You know what I'm saying? Because if you do, say you got a brick and mortar, you did repairs and things like that to your business, you can write stuff off. You know, and then if you have different charities and things like that, so that stuff is still honoring that. So it is kind of, it all depends on what's working for you and what's best for you. And I try to, like, you know, come on, inspire and educate. You can't go off of the masses all the time. Sometimes you got to go off of your unique, what works for you, your household, what's working, what not working. You can't go off of, if Jim is saying, well, I'm not going to support this because you and Jim's situation might be different. So you got to look at, like, take all this into consideration and keep an open mind on what's helping for your household. Is it feasible for you to have a brick and mortar? Say if you trying to start a business and you're, you know what I'm saying, you don't have much clientele and you got all these expenses and you already have to take care of your home expenses. Is it feasible for you to run that service, or can you do that service somewhere else? Can you just probably rent out some space, or can you do that service from home? Like, you have to look at what's going to be better for you, different tax breaks and stuff like that. You know, what's going to work best. You know, some people might have to adjust their college saving plan. Say, like, if they were putting in X amount of dollars and now they see to where, okay, so say I wanted Jan to go to school to be a doctor, right? Say you wanted your son to go to school to be a doctor, and now you looking at to see how much this is going to cost for them to be a doctor or whatever. So you might, when I said just in college plan, so instead you might have to look at, okay, maybe they may have to start first into like nursing or whatever, and then when they make the money on, they can pay for it, because you got to go through all that 4 year, 6 year anyway. But you got to, at the same time, you got to be building capital. You know, you got to fund that stuff. So you got to think about, if the scholarship doesn't cover the full ride, what can you do? So everything is about trying to fit in whatever your financial situation and family and things like that. So adjusting college saving plans. Instead of going maybe I was putting in $200 a month. Say that. And if you know, okay, I know my daughter, she wants to go to be a doctor. I might have to put more in. I might have to put more in to get to that goal, because now I'm seeing these things are changing. Laws are changing. That 200 might not be enough. So adjusting the plan, whether it is, okay, maybe I might, depend on what my child gonna go to school for or whatever the expenses are, I might have to, like, you know, they might change their mind. So I might want to put in less. Or I know this person's on the right track to do this, I might want to put in more. So that's what they call adjusting college saving plans. You know, preparing and things like that there. And in everything, push your ownership on things. Ownership. Because I think a lot of times whenever you try to own, you get different breaks on certain stuff. You get breaks, and if you know you're good at bookkeeping, like I said, keeping receipts and things like that, figuring out, you know, what's best for you. So keeping your paperwork up the point too. Keeping good paperwork, making good, we call that good calculated risk. Making good calculated risk. So say if the thing didn't work out, or you lost some money in it, it didn't break the bank for you. So being able to make great calculated risk and knowing, you know, like what you can and can't do. And also I was looking at something on YT. They was saying a lot of stuff that's going on, like it's affecting like different states. Like depending on what state you in, you might be, you know what I'm saying, your taxes might be higher than somebody in another state. Different things, because what this bill does is, you know, it's a federal thing, but it also it affects states differently. So depending on, you know, where you live, where you zone, what's going on in your county, all that. So it's not like a cookie cutter thing. It depends on where you live, location, all that. You know what I'm saying? So We got to take that in mind whenever you're thinking about it. It could be something simple as if you're trying to relocate somewhere, you doing research on how's this city or state I'm trying to go to, how would it benefit my family size, how would it benefit me, what can I get from it. If you say if you got you got school age kids or whatever, and you move into like a different county or state, your taxes gonna be different. Like the cost of living is gonna be different. You know, you got to think about how you can fund a lot of stuff. Like think about like your career. Is this going to be feasible right now for me to move to a larger city? And I only qualify and I only have this qualification of background. So what I would say, like if you're looking to move to another area, state, like do your research on taxes and stuff like that affects that town, that county, and that city. You know, and I would say if it is something that you're trying to do better level up on, it starts with you doing the research, you getting and doing the things you need to do before you take jumps and leaps. You know what I'm saying? Because just because you see, I would say if you see Jan or Bill, they moved to Cali. Say, child, they up and moved to Cali, and they tend to make that move and they doing well. And you're basing your life off of what somebody else doing, but you don't know how they file and what their income is, what some other things might be behind the scenes. You don't know what they're doing to sustain. So you just got to know what makes best sense for you and everything. That's choosing your child's education. That can go from how you start your businesses, and things like that. What type of, how you structure your business, all that. What works best? What type of breaks and stuff you get, creating the action plan. So when I say one brick at a time, y'all, and anything we do, it's gonna take one step, one brick at a time. You know, even with if you're trying to do like a major big goal, you gotta chunk it down to the smaller goals. You gotta see what worked, what I have to tweak, this and that, and we gotta stop putting everything all in one box. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta look at what's feasible for you, not going off of the masses. I really want to come on and say that as we move forward into this year, we gotta change the mindset. We gotta look beyond what's going to work best for me, my family, what's going to work best. You might have to walk alone sometime. You might got to tweak some things. So what works best for you? You know what I'm saying? Like, and then it's like a lot of controversy going on with Nikki as to why she so-called now a Trump supporter. I mean, at the end of the day, me personally, that's her business. She tells her story about that, you know what I'm saying? And then it's like, I don't know, I don't know if it's issues like with the music industry, what she got going on. But, I just sometimes take a deep dive into, why as the people, do what they do. What is she trying to secure? Is she looking at this thing from a broader scale? Okay, I think she got one child or whatever. So you never know, like, she probably trying to secure herself for her family. You don't know what's behind the scenes with that as to why she changed her approach on a lot of stuff. And then as we were talking about, like a lot of times when people have kids and things like that, and we already know the income bracket, the more money you make or whatever, everything is out the pocket and you're being taxed differently. So we don't know people's situation and things like that as to why people do what they do, so that to me, I say, people got to do what they can, and they got to do what's best for their situation, their household. I'm trying to knock people off of surface level stuff, because you don't know why people had to do what they do. You don't like we got this thing, we'll say, like, don't take the Band-Aid off of something. You don't even know why the Band-Aid is there in the first place. Like, you just going ripping something off and you don't know why a person put it there. You don't know why. You got to, like, look beyond the surface sometimes in situations. And I know, guys, the way different things like the government funding, we see that. you know, like how things are changing, how SNAP benefit is going to change, because now they got this thing to where now the USDA got to approve certain foods that's healthy, and we all know healthy eating is more expensive. So they're trying to see like what they have to test that stuff to see like what's considered healthy, sugary, fatty, and all that. So now they're trying to change the approach. Like they don't want you to purchase that stuff if off of SNAP. If that stuff is fatty, sugary. Now we seeing the kids are prone to obesity now. They hyper. They bigger now. They more developed. So now they have to go back to the drawing board. That the USDA got to test that stuff to see, so they can see to where that now certain states you can't buy junk food off the SNAP benefit. You can't buy junk food. You know what I'm saying? So they have to go. It's a lot of stuff they have to go back and write in. And it's not over with yet, with these laws and stuff. Like they're doing a lot of people out there like testing, researching and stuff like that there. In the way and even with different insurances and stuff. So all that is going to change. It's not going to be the same. So we got to start thinking more, you know what I'm saying, outside the box on stuff and change our mindset on different things. I just want to make sure I cover a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I would say, so far as the education piece of it all, like try to get your kids on track to get some scholarships. If you know some scholarships, get them in some type of activities, sports, different things. You see some stuff they're good at, hone those skills. So that can help you, your pockets out. That can help you out, hone them skills. Try to level up, leverage. Like, you know, it says it's good old tax season. So with that being said, level up with that. You know what I'm saying? Level up. Be mindful of what you're investing in. Look at your current situation and see what can you do to either like to better the situation, to get more ahead. You know what I'm saying? With that, you know, so make smart purchases and smart choices. Okay. So yeah, I did a blog. So y'all go ahead and the blog is better detail. You know what I'm saying? A written version. So y'all go check that out. One Big Beautiful Bill. You know, and you know, we all, like, we as Americans, we need to tap in to see how this is going to affect us in the long run. You got this thing to where taxes like on energy, like like the taxes might be greater on a state that got plants that they trying to go with like a clean energy economy or whatever. So the taxes might be higher on a place that got plants and stuff that deal with steam and all that stuff versus a cleaner environment. And I'm thinking it was saying something that Hawaii and somewhere else, like the taxes are different, cheaper, something like that. So it covers a lot of stuff. It covers this bill. It covers environment. It covers healthcare. It covers businesses. It covers tax and tariffs. It covers homeland security and different things like that. Why? And then like Trump agenda on what he want to do with this, you know what I'm saying, with security. How he want to amp that up in the taxes and different stuff we're paying for that. So this bill covers a lot of stuff. It's not just what we around here be looking at about the TANF and the healthcare. The main things we talk about, taxes and food stamps, but it's more to that. This bill is way more than that. They talk about, like I said earlier, about the college saving plans. Now we got this thing called the energy, which you can, I didn't know, depending on what type of car you got, you can write that off. You know what I'm saying? Not the car. I know you can write off like your car registration, the car tax, but you can write the whole, like your loan, like your interest payments. Your loan, depending on what kind of car you got, you can like write that junk off. Like if you purchase a car and say it's not like one of those luxury brands, you can write that junk off if you purchased that car last. Say you bought a car last year, you can purchase off like your payments. You can write off the interest and all that. So this big beautiful bill covers a lot of stuff. I'm trying to remember what else I saw. on it. I can't remember. But I did, okay, like whatever I remember, I'll come back to. But I watched Nikki's speech on why she going hard and why she she got a gold trump card about that, it's about, and y'all, that thing, like, the application process fee on that, I think like 15,000, something like that. Don't quote me, y'all. It's hard to even try to apply for that Trump card. So it's really like for people, immigrants who trying to get citizenship here in the country. That's what it's about. So they gotta go through this whole application process and all that stuff. And I think, and Nikki said she was born in Trinidad, but I thought she was already a citizen. But she was just saying why she rocks with the Trump fund plan, because I said when she finished school, her parents didn't have the money they grew up poor, she said, and it didn't have the money like for her to go to college and all that. So a lot of stuff she had to figure out on her own. And then of course, you know what I'm saying, she made it to the industry, and then that flipped her lifestyle. She said it was kind of hard, like being like a regular person, somebody, you know what I'm saying, that's coming from a poverty background, that parents, you know, they had you know, if college was an option, if you didn't get any scholarship, you had to come out the pocket and pay for that. So she said that was tough for her. So she said that's why she rocks with this plan. So looking at it from that perspective, and from a mother perspective, yeah, you want your child to have it easier than you had, especially if you was not born with the silver spoon. You was born poor. You was not born with a silver spoon. So you want to make sure your child is good. You want to have different stuff in place, different things to protect you and your family. If God forbid something was to happen to you, you want to have that going. So that, you know, so there's different other plans in place. You don't have to get like a Trump plan per se, but you can get like different stuff like through your bank, different stuff to help protect your assets and kids and stuff like that. So it is kind of good overall to look at this stuff, y'all, because, you know, while we still here alive, and this stuff is going to affect us one way or the other. If it don't affect us, it's going to affect our kids. So it's good to know what's going on. You know, keep an eye on things. Adjust your lifestyle to what's going on with your family and things you're responsible for, your finances and all that, y'all. So this level up season. So y'all, I want to come on and just share that, y'all. So I appreciate you guys for watching. Please do your research. I say knowledge is power. Knowledge is king. Stop, you know, take time, read and get some information so you can know like how to plan, pretty much. Like you can weather storms, different things of life. You can know how to plan and know what you have to do. Some people seeking dual citizenship. I talked about that one time. They might want to have a citizenship, maybe another country, maybe like in Africa somewhere, or the Bahamas or Caribbean, plus have a citizenship here. So like kind of knowing, you know, that'll be cool to have a dual citizenship. So this kind of, it is good just to think broad and think outside the box, you know, knowing, making financial move, wealth building, one brick at a time, all that. It is good just to have that good knowledge. So that's what I got, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and head off. Appreciate you. Thanks for watching. Feel free if you want to share, check out my blog post. And I'll be posting the more I learn, I'll be sharing, you know, and different things. Like we gotta, you know what I'm saying, we gotta be equipped for what's going to happen in society and with our families and things like that. So appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching. And y'all check out my lifestyle blog, aprilblog.online. Also my store, stylesforme.org. Stay tuned. More colors are coming. I hear y'all requests. I'm bringing back my Oh So Clear. I'm bringing back my I want to say Luscious Cranberry, but I think I'm gonna bring back my Diamond Pink. The Diamond Pink, Oh So Clear, Luscious Cranberry. Those are those are the lip gloss. I have liquid matte and lip gloss. All my lip gloss are gone, y'all. Them things sell quick. So I'll be re up on that. So y'all stay posted. I'm trying to see what my price gonna be. I'm gonna charge y'all 10. You know, so they are good quality stuff. Yeah, I see them on my wall. That's my stash there on my wall. So I got different colors and shades, and I also gonna do some more earth tone as well, because I had some requests for some earth tones. So let me pull one out just in case. So I have her on this morning. This is my avocado, or this is brush on. Look at that. So this is my raspberry supreme color. Easy liquid matte. You don't have to do that many touch up, and it lasts long. It's a moisturizing agent, no paraben free. So this is on my site. So more colors are on the way. So y'all stay posted. Shop with your girl. And then y'all continue to check out my website, guys. And I also do, stay tuned too. I got some one-on-one interviews coming up, so stay tuned. More to come in 26 with Blogging with April. Guys, I'll be doing like different reposts of the different the one-on-ones I've done. So I'll be dropping those links and things like that here. So when y'all see them, y'all hit the replay. Y'all watch. Because I'm gonna be doing that. Just dropping different one-on-one videos, different things that I do. So y'all stay posted for that. And if you are in my area, if you want to collab, if you want for me to do a one-on-one video, and then with my website, people from all over will see your story. If it's something you're trying to promote, you can hit me up as well. So we can do that, and I can put it all on my socials and on my website for others to see. Okay, on aprilblog.online. You know, I got people from different countries and cities. They read that website, Blogging with April. So yeah, y'all support, y'all link up. If you want to share a story, you want to promote your product, you got a business, I'll be there. I'll bring my studio to y'all. Like, I'm mobile. I got my in-home studio. This is more like for me, but then I can bring my stuff to y'all. If you know, we can chop it up. So if you want to do that, you know what I'm saying? So guys, I'm going to go ahead and head. I appreciate you guys for watching. Have a happy, fresh new week. This is a great week, a good week. Guys, be intentional. And y'all, let's motivate. Okay. See you next video, y'all. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.